So having done part A and B, we can now move on to answer part C. Let me read it. It says Zeltex Limited shares cost 120 shillings each and pay no dividends. All right. The possible prices that the company's shares might sell for at the end of the year with the respective probabilities are provided below. So we have the prices and the probabilities that are provided in the two columns required. Roman 1, the expected return of the company's shares for marks. Roman 2, standard deviation of return for marks. So candidates will first answer part C Roman 1, the expected return of the company's shares. The expected return of the company's shares. Expected return of the company's shares. This is C Roman 1. The expected return. Expected return of the company's shares will be equal to the summation of the probability times the expected return. Okay, so we'll have a table, present this in a table, price in shillings, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140. Price in shillings. Then I'll have the probabilities. Or probability, PI. The probabilities are given in the question: 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we will multiply the probabilities with respective prices, So I'll have 115, it's 115 times 0.1. It's 11.5. This is 12.0. And I have 125 times 0.2. 25.0. I have 130 times 0.3, 130 times 0.3, 39.0. I'll have 135 times 0.2, this 0 there, it's 27.0. Then 0.1 times 140, 14.0. This is PI times expected return. It's expected return. So we will get the summation, and that will be the expected return. So we'll sum 11.5 plus 12 plus 25 plus 39 plus 27 plus 14 is equal to 128.5. So the expected return is equal to 128.5 shillings. These are how many marks? These are 4 marks. These are how many marks? 4 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is a mark for that one. Some mark there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 marks. 4 marks. Each tick, half a mark. So that is part 1. It should be part 1. It's part 2. It's part 1. Yes, part 1. So let's answer part 2. It says standard deviation of return, another 4 marks. Standard deviation of return, 4 marks. So candidates, I will need this space to answer, to calculate the standard deviation. Standard deviation. So standard deviation, part 2, standard deviation, which is equal to, sometimes you write it as SD, standard deviation, or we use that symbol. And the standard deviation for this return, the standard deviation of the return will be equal to the square root of the summation of the probability times the actual return minus the expected return squared. So we'll use that formula to calculate the standard deviation. So we have the price, we have another table, shillings, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, and 140. These are prices. Then the probabilities, PI, 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then candidates, another column we need here is the deviations. We need to calculate the deviation. The deviation is actual return. This is the actual return minus the expected return, which we've calculated here, 128.5. We have that column. Then we'll have another column for PI times actual return minus expected return squared. So I can now go ahead and subtract 115, this 115 minus the expected return of 128.5. It's minus 113.5. Next is 120. This 120 minus 128.5 is equal to negative 8.5. Then 125 minus 128.5 is negative 3.5. 130 minus 128.5 is 1.5 positive. 135 minus 128.5, 6.5. 140 minus 128.5 is 11.5. 11.5. So we will square the deviation, then multiply by the standard deviation. We square this deviation. These are deviations because we are getting the difference between the actual and the expected. This is the expected return. So we will square 13.5 squared times 0.1. This is equal to 18.225. Next I have 8.5 square times 0.1, 7.225. Next 3.5 squared times 2.45. Next I have 1.5 squared times 0.3, 0.675. Next 6.5 squared times 0.2, 8.45. Lastly 11.5 square times 0.1 is 13.225. So we get the summation. We add. This is what we are adding. So 13.225 plus 8.45 plus 0.675 plus 2.45 plus 7.225 plus 18.225. Answer is 50.25. Remember, these are shillings. So shillings are not percentage. So the standard deviation will be the square root of 50.25. Square root of 50.25, the square root of 50.25. This will be equal to, the square root is 7.088. That is the standard deviation, and that is the end of that question. How many marks? These are 4 marks. 4 marks. 4 marks. 4 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are marks. 4 marks. So candidates in an exam, after having done enough practice, you don't need to go through all these writings, because you can see this price I already had a column here for price. I'm writing it that way so that you can see clearly and understand. But in an exam, you don't have to repeat this column here and that column there. In an exam, because you are also being tested on speed, you should avoid repeating. Okay, so here, if I was an exam, I would just come here and have the column P, I, probability, actual return minus expected return squared. So all I needed to answer part 2 is to have this formula here, because the probability I have it here, the actual return I have it here, the expected return I have it here. This is supposed to be square root. Okay. Then the answer after summing, because this is summation, after getting the summation of the probability times the square root of these deviations, the sum here, okay, the sum here, which in our case there is 50.25, just come here and get the square root of that, because the calculator again you have it. So that all those working are not necessary. You don't earn marks by repeating such columns. But I only did that for the purposes of understanding. But in an exam, you need to be saving time and earn the marks. And you can only do that if you've had enough practice. Candidates, this is your revision partner. In this book, we've summarized enough questions for you under this topic of risk and return. There are how many questions? We have 17 questions. 17 questions. Some of them are past paper questions. This topic was introduced recently in the fundamentals of finance syllabus, but we have gathered more other questions which can help you revise in this topic. So make sure you answer all the 17 questions in this book before doing your exams, the forthcoming exams. Make sure you've done all the questions in this book. You'll have enough practice to enable you answer these questions in a very short time. Very short time. These are marks that you need to scoop very easily. You can only do that by practicing. So thank you for being attentive. This was our first lesson in answering the questions that were tested in May 2019. I told you before you come to this revision, make sure you do these questions. Those who obeyed, you must have seen where you went wrong, because I expect you to mark your work as we are moving on to answer the question. So in our next lesson, we are going to answer the second question. Second question. Thank you and bye-bye.